This is Kobe with the Phoenix Hip Hop Podcast, and I have Simple Wisdom here with me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, brother, man. How about yourself?
Good, man. Hey, I appreciate you agreeing to chat with me today. I've been talking to you for a while, actually.
Right. Since about December.
December, yeah, which was when I saw you perform. So I was at the Living Legends show in Mesa. It was Nile Theater, right? That's where it was at?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I know I've been there before, but it was called something else, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So yeah, I was just standing in the crowd waiting for the show to get started. I was there early before everything started. And then all of a sudden, you and Puritan, show up, and we were talking right before I hit the record button. I didn't know it was Puritan. I've seen him perform multiple times at Trill. I've seen him host things. But I didn't know it was him until I started paying closer attention. And then I'd never seen you before. But man, as someone that is just such a fan of like live performances and lyrical hip hop and stuff like that, you guys came on with the Deep Trouble beat? Is that what it is? The
deep cover.
Deep cover beat. Yeah.
Yeah, the deep cover. Yeah.
And it wasn't just the beat though. It's like, I don't know how to describe this. Just the kind of the way you guys got on stage, like with the freaking energy, like. It's like you were there for a mission, is how, like, as a fan, that's how I'm perceiving. I'm like, man, these guys
right.
And you guys just from the very beginning, you guys killed it. And so a lot of shows I go to, when it's the first opener, it's okay, it's fine, right? Like I'm there to support anyone, and I become fans of artists that are openers all the time. But to be 100% honest with you, this was like the best first opener sort of performance I had seen.
Yeah.
So I didn't have my phone out, right? I was like,
yeah,
cool. And then as soon as you guys hit, I was like, what the? And I got my phone. I started recording.
Hell yeah.
Holy crap! So a couple of reasons I wanted to chat with you. One was just to kind of understand what was the preparation that went into doing that, because it seemed very, very calculated and organized. Even like your stage presence. You guys were performing, songs where you were both included. I just wanted to get an idea of what that looked like.
Basically, man, it's a vibration that me and my brothers share. You know what I mean? Like when I first clicked up with Puritan, we were separate artists, you know what I mean, doing our own things. And once we actually linked up, it was like an automatic connection. In that stage, we drove 6 hours just prepping, going back and forth over our tracks, because we feel like we can just be up there and then just rap, or we can give these people something to look at and actually dig and embrace, you know what I mean? So that's why we dig feeding off of each other's energies. So it gives me a chance to breathe. He can breathe, you know what I mean? And he could hit it with a different different punch that I could, you know what I mean? That was the biggest thing. We're not just going to be rappers on stage. We're going to actually give these people like a show, be MCs, you know what I'm saying? Something like that on that level.
Yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, for me, it's one person's opinion, but mission accomplished for sure.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Yeah. Heck yeah.
Even the intro. So, and the light, the lighting was ideal, right? The lighting has some green lighting and
right. Yeah.
You guys started with the Grinch, like the Grinch, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? What is it, right? It's
That's just the universe working in itself. We had nothing to do with the lighting. That just happened to be on point with that. Yeah.
So I wanted to, yeah. So when it comes to actually your stage presence, like, I was talking to someone a couple of weeks ago. So I do, I have my own podcast and I do some interviews for these hip hop festivals locally, and
right.
I do these promo interviews with artists that sometimes they're performing for the first time, and this one guy, I'm like, hey, how are you preparing for your performance? He's like, I'm not sure, it's my first time, and I actually recommended that he watch this video, and I was like, well, I post a lot of different show footage, and it's a lot of different venues, some small, some big. But I just posted a longer clip of this guy, Simplewizdom. You should check it out. As like a template.
Being on stage is its own thing, and I wasn't really aware of that until I started doing it, and I've only performed a couple of times on stage at open mic. It's something that I should probably prioritize as far as preparation. I really haven't been doing anything, but
suggestion, and this is an opportunity for me to plug my own page too. So the page I followed you from, Phoenix Hip Hop, I have a lot of show footage there, and it's a wide variety of small venues and larger venues. And so if I'm not an artist, but anything I do, I try to study how do people approach this thing I'm interested in. If you go through some of that, you'll see all right, how does someone show up at this small venue? How do they show up at a medium-sized venue, a large venue? There's a clip I posted yesterday, and there's this guy, he goes by Simplewizdom, and it's just a great template of stage presence. So anyways, I would definitely recommend maybe check some of those out as far as you specifically, how have you developed that sort of stage presence? You're moving around a lot, but it seems so structured and organized, and just the way you hold the mic, the way you use your body, where did that come from?
I'm a product of hip hop, my brother. You know what I mean? So I started off as a b-boy. You know what I mean? So it went from b-boying to graffiti, then MCing. You know what I mean? But that's always been a part of me. So I've always been to hip hop events where all the elements have always been respected and brought together. You know what I mean? So when I jump on stage, dude, I take I look at acts like Tech Nine and Chris Calico, Busta Rhymes and Spliff, you know what I mean? On my own level, that's with the group, right? But just the energy that Tech brings, where he's able to dance and enjoy his own music, you know what I mean? Me, I'm a very calm, quiet person. Anybody that knows me knows me. I'm quiet. I'm in the corner. I'm enjoying myself. I'm vibing, you know what I mean? But when I get up on stage, it's my chance to release, you know what I mean? It's my chance to interact, you know what I mean? So that's where I get free and I get to zone out and just jam, you know what I mean? And give the energy that I'm feeling, you know what I mean? Everything that I'm giving out is what I'm receiving, you know what I mean? So I just try to be in that moment, vibe out and have a good time. That's when my eyes are closed sometimes. I try to connect with the people, but my eyes closed just because I'm zoning out right now, you know what I mean? I'm just vibing. I'm hoping you catch the vibrations that I'm just throwing out there.
What was your introduction to hip hop? As a kid, I imagine you've been listening to it since a kid.
Bro, yeah, for sure. So this is where my age shows too, my dude. I was in elementary school, getting introduced to breakdancing through KRS-One, Rapture. You know okay. Watching that video on TV, and I was just in amazement. What are these cats doing on the floor? This is dancing. Started rhyming because I just wanted to understand what Bone was saying. Bone was a huge influence on me. You know what I mean? Like they're the biggest reason why I started rhyming, because I was like, okay, right. Which is funny because a lot of people don't really dig them, but I fucking love them. You know what I mean? It was just okay. Let me see if I could write theirs down. Once I got theirs down, I was like, I could try this. You know what I mean? So I started doing theirs. Aesop Rock till this day is like one of my biggest influences too. You know what I mean? Just his style, the way he delivers his poetry. You got to listen to him like a few times to get what he's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, he's an acquired taste for sure. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And he's top two. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, that my introduction was like, I was lucky to have these cats come into my life and introduce me to what it really was, the gift of gabs. You know what I mean? The
Gift of Gab, yeah, from Black Delicious, right?
Enter my intimate energy element. I am an entity walking ahead of the pack. I really am out of my head, and it's evident that I will never.
Right, dude. I had the privilege. Me and Puritan had the privilege on going on probably one of his last tours with him.
Wow.
So that was a beautiful thing, dude. To be driving around, you know what I mean, with somebody you were listening to and influenced by, and dude, his chemical calisthenics.
Oh my God, that song is crazy. Yeah.
Bro,
The chemicals, energy, heat, gas, wave, all your mass. Chemical change, ice point, melt, all your raps. Atomic wave, rope shocks when you call, we land. Fillable gas, keep going.
Yeah, I just remember sitting there and just thinking dude, I am so lucky right now. This is manifested, because I can remember thinking one day I'm just going to be able to meet these cats and tell them thank you. You know what I mean? And to sit there and just be it's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I looked at your Instagram, and, I know you're a tattoo artist, but you also, and I can't think of exactly what image or post I've seen, but my takeaway, aesthetically, visually, you do have some sort of I don't know, there's some sort of spirituality, I guess, to your, I don't know how to
being.
yeah. So
yeah, for sure. I believe in balance, man.
Okay.
Good and bad. You know what I mean? Duality. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I want to do it. And it ended up happening. And it ended up happening with the help of the energy of Puritan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. So so I knew at that point, okay, anything's possible, especially if we're both on the same wavelength. That power of positive thinking definitely can make a change. Plus, psychedelics did play a big help in that, dude. I ain't even gonna front. LSD definitely helped me lose the ego and connect with what is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah. It's all love. You know what I mean? And we talk about it all the time. No balance. Even the name of the group, Faded, is an acronym, and it stands for all those everyday downers. You know what I mean? We're just here to uplift and give, you know what I mean, as well as receive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. I'm eventually I want to try psychedelics. I haven't, but yeah, it's on sort of my bucket list. I have a very formalized Zen Buddhism practice, and
I can dig that.
Yeah, some of the concepts in my practice, the stories I hear about psychedelics, it sounds like there's a lot of overlap in the sense of detaching from self, right. Ego and things like that, and just the whole thing of we're not our thoughts, right? So we're some sort of consciousness first, then our thoughts, but we are sometimes under the delusion that these thoughts are us, right? Does that make any sense?
Right. For sure. Yeah, it's just the understanding of what is that saying? We're not humans we're being human. You know what I mean? We're not souls. We're not human beings with souls. We're souls being human, spirits being human, or however you want to look at it. You know what I mean? So it's just about the experience in the moment, allowing it to happen to us, but not holding on to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is the same thing with our thoughts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is in this on to, because I was going to say, they say when the negative thoughts come, you got to let them go. but they're just as important as the positive thoughts that you have to hold on to. You know what I mean? It's just figuring out which ones are like meant to just be marinated on. Okay, do I need to hold on to this, or do I just need to think about it and then just let it go and be its thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of my favorite analogies that I heard from like a mindfulness teacher was it was like a metaphor of like, you know, the sky is your true essence, right? And so clouds will come, right? And sometimes you have storm clouds, sometimes you have, you know, white fluffy clouds, but we make the mistake of thinking that our true essence are those clouds, but they're moving, right? And so
right.
what you said sort of reminded me of that, right?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, in that sense too, like, I mean, I find clouds beautiful. You know what I mean? All clouds, even storm clouds. So like with that, like there's beauty in the ugly too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
song, or it could be
right.
aggression. And I'm the same, like in my personal life, like I aim to do no harm. I don't even want to kill bugs, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah, no, dude, I'm the same way. Like I just found a bug in the house earlier today. I'm like, I ain't gonna kill it. I'm just gonna pick it up in this little paper and I'm gonna put it outside. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of cat. Yeah.
But I'll be in my car listening to some crazy hip hop about like murdering. And I don't know if it's metaphor or if it's telling a story, but to me, it just, I like to hear, I guess, just like the human condition, where it's, emotions or, things we go through. I like to hear that. Yeah. It's like channeled through a form of art. And so
for sure.
I'm listening to it like, I want to do these things that this person's rapping about. I'm listening as like, yeah, man, the way they articulated that strong emotion or feeling, I really love that. Does that make any sense to you?
Right, for sure. My brother Corey Hill says it all the time. It's about the conviction in the person's music. You know what I mean? Like
acapella, you did some acapella stuff at that show.
Mm-hmm.
That was really really cool. Yeah, I have a clip of that.
Gentlemen, I'm here with the rating and regenerating the fading. Debating that you're hating the days, niggas in the phrasing that I'm ain't no mistaking that I'm staking them, Satan's breaking them and taking the praising and someone grazing the blazing deposited that into your banks. It will withdraw your eyes, oohs, and damn. Then watch the interest skyrocket. You can profit off this mosh pit's constant thoughts constant, you pockets meant to get your noggin bent. Content above the downs you spent, but seems to be that's common sense. Take advantage of this offer proposition, properly dropping sins to the top of you, Mr. Piggy. I keeps it 100 without no big-headed frontin', making.
What was that like? Was that a part of a song, or like? Can you talk a little bit about that?
That one, dude. That one, it's just like. I look at myself kind of as a poet, you know what I mean? Because I don't really rhyme, dude. Like I flow. Like a lot of my words that I use don't rhyme together. I don't even use like a actual structured 16 bar format. You know what I mean? I kind of write differently. But that one, dude, it was like a poem. It was just me just letting the pen go.
When you do come to Phoenix, let me know for sure, because I definitely want to have you on the podcast that I recorded on. I would love to have you on that. Lately, I've been
appreciate you, man. Hell yeah, awesome. Much love, man. I do appreciate the love since like I told you, like since we first like got introduced, even though it was like online. You know what I mean? But still, like, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing my energy. Thank you for sharing your energy with me and allowing me to share it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
100%. And not just for me, dude. For like the whole foundation, for everybody that you're doing it with, for everybody that you bring onto your platforms, not even just here, but on the icon. You know what I mean? Like, thank you. I appreciate it from the community. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man. Yeah. Something. Yeah, I don't know how what I do is perceived, but every now and then I get feedback from folks like you, and it's very, very helpful, because I am aiming for something specific, and it's a few things. It's like, one, I'm really anti-conflict and tension and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of ego and stuff, and I try to highlight as many styles and stuff as possible, just to show like, hey, this all is the same thing in its own way. Right. Just one last question for you. And I mentioned this earlier. Like, I've used you as an example for newer artists, like, hey, this is a great, template as far as what you should aim for. But that said, what advice would you give to someone that maybe they haven't performed or they only performed once and they're really working to sharpen their stage presence?
This is where rehearsal does matter. You know what I mean? Like, if you haven't done it before and you don't know how it's going to be, bro, just perform for yourself. Like, practice to yourself. You know what I mean? Until you're actually comfortable with it. Like, it might be your music, but like, you've listened to it 1,000 times, but going up there and performing it in front of people is totally different. I know cats that like have albums and albums and albums, but can't get in front of people because there's that chance that it might not work, so it's not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is one of those things. Like, it definitely is practice. I would just, again, it's all about the person. Like, I love doing it. I love being up there. That's where I get to release everything. But just practice, understanding and knowing that the way you deliver it is going to be felt. So if you want to give them like a half-ass show, then they're going to see a half-ass show and they're probably not going to want to vibe out with you again. Just go for it. don't think about it. Don't second guess it. Just go for it. And like, once you keep doing it enough to yourself, like, once you get on stage, bro, you've done it 1,000 times already. So jumping on stage, it's nothing if you've done it by yourself. Like, Tech Nine talks about it, like, write how you're going to want to perform it.
Yeah.
I thought that's very helpful. You know what I mean? Connect with your message, practice how you want to deliver it, practice voice control. You know what I mean? There's so much that goes into it besides just getting on there and give me the mic and I'm going to say some words. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful thing if done properly. Yeah.
That's why I'm talking to you, right? I mean, it's been months in December. I'm still reminiscing, like, yo, that was so crazy, man. Hey, well, thanks again for taking the time.
And, no problem, brother, man. Thank you for reaching out. I appreciate you.
I'm looking forward to keeping up with what you're doing. And you always have my support for sure.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. You have mine too, brother, man. And next time I'm out in Phoenix, we'll link up, dude. We'll do something, hopefully.
Keep it moving to the next door. I'm on a question and the question. Don't leave it up, hydrate, bless you. I'm here to deliver your common call for your mama, now they're gonna change. You had a range, ain't no made a SOS, you're gonna make it where I pray. Back to state, you asked for this. Now back to the